let's get started. Hello and welcome to you all. This will probably be a very short one. Well, I say short, but we gotta do Tower of Zod. So, this will more than likely be maybe standard length, we'll see. I did get a lot of stuff. What is this? Oh, nice. I've done a few things while offline. I forgot to put stuff away. That'll be alright. I'll just give me time to do it later. Okay. Alright, Kryl. What have we got? Since there's been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings of our prospective locales?
Your time in Safnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnair.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emulger. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Ifrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosodra by a considerable margin. That she does. But I think Alize herself would assert that she's at her best when she's charging onto the breach. And from what I recall from the Grand Cosmos, there's a spring in her step when she fights by your side.
Wow.
Ye gods, will you never let me hear the end of that? Rest assured that I will do what is asked of me, regardless of who I happen to be standing next to at any given time.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Rads at Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
It is a little saddening that the chess piece does not have a second die channel, because I think that would be amazing. Great work, Marxist. I love how like the tunes are also Han's thing. I'm like, I haven't been able to walk around there yet. Okay. It's just a little easier to go this way. Oh jeez, that fate is back, and I see no one in the area. As much as I want to join this fate, I don't have the time to. Oh, wait, no, someone's there, I'll help them out. All of a sudden, here comes the train. friend Eorzea, we've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission into the tower, I'm told. The warding scales will be delivered soon. Until then, please stand by at the boat we have ready. When your fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. This is the future of Aetheryte travel. I think I'll stick to... I just realized I did that. No warning, however emphatic, could have prepared me for that. Oh, they deal with the Aetheryte sickness. On account of which we are a little late, but fighting fit, mostly. This is a satrap's eye. My friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. You must be... We should still call you Varshan, I suppose? Indeed. It would not do to confuse our soldiers. Very well then. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warding skills. Please convey this to His High Excellency. To His Excellency. Wow, why did I do High Excellency? One for you each. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessings. Our thanks. With these, we can go anywhere those with the blessing of light can go. Not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. We can finally break your monopoly on primals. Oh, that's funny. In that case, they're all yours from here on out. But I'm afraid we can't let you retire just yet. You're the Scion's brightest star, after all. If everyone is amenable to it, let us review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we would divide into two groups. Sapphire and his band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners who are doubtlessly one for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. The primal which the tower bringeth forth shall be the deities of Fafnir, of Fafnirian myth. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray exercise the utmost caution when confronting them. We commence the operation at your word, my friend. For the people of Fafnir, nay, the entire world, we must prevail.
Right then.
and I don't remember a thing about it aside from you fight the three sisters. I remember dying a lot, though. Alright, let's go.
underestimate me!
Wait, didn't we come in that way? No.
My turn.
You must! All or nothing!
Yeah, I'll probably get this one in. Or I'll make it a two-parter and just merge the two.
Is everyone all right?
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Stola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there, embedded inside the core. A man's limb.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
And that should be the end of it.
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
What happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
Raha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more Porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
The liberated prisoners are being transported to Razathan for treatment. Alize and Stola will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment with support from those who know a healing spell or two. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a chance to catch your breath. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Vershawn bade us come to Mega Data at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Oh, wait. Second thought, you and Estinian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Work. We left Graha in the Alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Just you and me then. The guardsman at the gate will wave us through. Though I've been to Razanhan before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we had best ask for directions from this sanctuary at the fountain. Lead the way, and don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Wow. Ah, Master Sapphire, I presume? I understand you are here for an audience with the Saprat. If you require directions to the Megaduta, there we go. I should be glad to provide you. The Saprat's residence is situated in Dharma, the highest part of Razanhan. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed and the threat is safe. As such, I will provide you with an alternate route. First, please ascend the steps to this fountain and continue left. There will be more steps. Upon ascending them, you will emerge on Fox's path. Proceed through the large door to the right, and you will arrive at Ruveda Fibers. Within, you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, we head up. Sounds straightforward enough. Okay, so we're literally getting a tour. Self-guided tour, we're just getting a tour. Heading to Megaduta, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to the right, go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps on either side of me, you'll find the workshops of Ruveda Fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. I feel like there should be a... Oh, I feel like there should be an ether raid. Okay, I already got lost. Where am I going? I'm so lost already, I love it. Hold up. Was there a... No, I already tuned it that one, I think. I hope. Oh, man. Let me make sure I attune to it. I don't think I did. Ah, Jesus. hard to imagine more vibrant stuff. I dare say Emmerich would be partial to the gold thread and the blue, of course. He loves his blue. I've never put much in thought of what I wear. A spare set of clothes is usually all I carry, and if that isn't enough, I always obtain something locally. Let me make sure I attune to the Aetherite, because I don't feel like I did. Oh, okay, yeah, I attuned to that one. So... yeah, I remember last time I just literally just ran around the entire place. I ran around the entire place, I think, gathering all the Aetherites, but... or the Aetherite shards. If you're here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We've business at Magadoda. Duda. Yeah. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps, then continue straight ahead to cross the bridge. You can't miss it. Okay. I see what I was somewhat getting to. I'll hit the lore stuff later. But I do want the Aetherite. Yeah, it was worth a shot. Greetings and welcome to Megadoda. I may inquire after your business. We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn come at the invitation of His Excellency. Ah, of course we've been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber. If you would, please follow me.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzat-Han.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat-Han will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
"'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee. In accordance with the covenant he forged with Hydaelyn, the stewardship of this star hath ever been his purpose. Silence in the face of thine actions is the greatest sign of his approval. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsummer's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Rita. Oh, Papalimo. Minfilia. Harshavon.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
So what were you and Vitra talking about? Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone on ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let's return to the Mulberry Orchard. Where's the Mulberry Orchard? Oh. Okay, so I have these. Don't have those. From here, we're supposed to follow the path left past the mulberries. Okay, so having originally jumped into this story, it makes sense that you should, like, play from Realm or at least, Heaven's Word. Because all these expansions cover a lot. Where the street turns into the door straight ahead, then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Rosenhan. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where the store takes us. I mean, they're not wrong. It's very beautiful. And with the fact that it's built on a hill makes it a little harder because then you're like going upstairs, downstairs, around corners, and you're just like, where did we wind up? See, like, now I'm not even sure where I'm winding up. Granted, I have been here before. Like, I think once there's the Aetheryte. I think once I finish this quest, or the next one of the two, I will officially be in unknown territory. And there's the Aetheryte Plaza. So far, so good. There isn't much further to go. From here, it's just cross the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger of the two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding skills. Come, let us join them. So now, can I attune to the Aether Ray? Maybe? Yep, nope. Okay. So it's probably going to happen way later in story. It's so pretty. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. I love it. We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? I was so groggy from sleep, I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Look at that. Its color is completely changed.
What does it mean now?
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
To who?
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
Interesting. Okay.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
I know we're gonna come back, so I'll just do it then. I'm like, I want to run around and get everything. No, I'll do that later. It's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from our respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thinkrit suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back. Kral has appraised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate the tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone. Be it penning a thesis or defeating deformed entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Yes, please. And we've got a loaf! We've got plain loaf. Cutscene. And we shall hold on to the flower. I feel like this flower is going to be the key to something. Dang it!
Take heart and protect them well.
No, it did take. What in the world?
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Okay, at least it's flavorful. Okay, now I think I'm in actual territory that I know nothing of. Because I don't remember this sequence. Hamburger! Okay, the taco moment makes so much more sense for Dontrell.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
Okay, mother.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Krile, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes?
Oh yeah.
'Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow. as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh, wow. I've heard that line, but now I know the context. I was literally like, I feel like Big Brother across the table watching my siblings, even though I'm an only child.
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
Now it's going green? This flower is gonna have some massive, like, story beat, I feel like.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn, burn, let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.